Let's keep it going. See how this works out. Free agency. Again, one more time. Jordan Walker and Peter Fairbanks for me. Bryce Miller, Brett Beatty for you guys. Griffin Canning as well, who's a carryover. Let's see what happens. Apparently I have my mask. Well, I did get Jordan Walker. 3-year deal worth $12 million. Whew. Ellie De La Cruz gets $7 million from Boston. Bryce Miller takes the 3-year deal from the Rockies. So we each got one of our targets so far. I need to go to both of our rosters and cut out these shit depth players. I am allowed to frickin' still send my deal back for Fairbanks. But yeah, I got to do that for both of our rosters. I always forget to. Let's get rid of the garbage that we always have to use. Whoops. As filler. Get rid of him. All right, there we go. Let's see, you guys still have the offer out for Beatty. I'm going to send my offer back out for Fairbanks. 1-year deal, $7 million. Quick and easy. So yeah, the big thing too is what the hell is going to happen with Nolan Jones? You guys lost a 36 overall player, no big deal. The fact the AI claimed those players is insane. See, both of our offers are still on the table. Yuri Perez, big 7-year deal from the Giants. Big 7-year deal for Yuri Perez, $25 million per. Let's see, Rolison still waiting, Cartaya still waiting. Got some other dudes who haven't quite accepted yet, and it looks like Fairbanks has accepted my deal. 1-year contract for the veteran reliever, Pete Fairbanks. Not bad. Nolan Jones is still a free agent. So he's really not wanting to come back to you guys, but nobody has sent him an offer. So he's in an interesting spot, is the best way to put it. He's in a very interesting spot. In terms of the 40-man, is there anybody I'm good with taking off of the 40-man? I'm going to take Gladney out of there for now. Poet, what's going on? We're going well. Things are going well. That's what I meant to say. I'm going to make sure I have roster spots on the 40-man cleared up. For you guys, is there anybody out? Riley Pint you can get rid of just to make sure you have space. Honestly, Brewstar makes sense to take off the 40-man. You guys are paying him way too much money right now, given his overalls declined. I mean, he was good in the regular season, kind of. Not so hot in the playoffs. It makes sense to just see if somebody will take him. It makes the most sense in the world. I don't imagine you'll lose him. If you do, well, hey, you get rid of a bad contract, so. All right, let's see. Offers, still waiting for those deals to go through. I'm still waiting for a couple of deals to go through as well. We got until December 2nd. It is currently November 20th. Honestly, now's a good time. Just to up those contract offers to make sure that they're all max interest. We don't want to lose any of these guys on either side. Let's see, and then for you guys, got to sign Dinger. Rail, what's going on? It's all about the drops, man. It's all about the drops. They're so important. Think of the packs. Honestly, if Prosecki doesn't accept that, it is what it is. All right, let's see. Any word from Brett? Still nothing. I lost Braden Shoemaker on waivers. That's fine. Still no answer from Brett. No answer about Nolan Jones either. Hunter Green, 7-year deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Any word from Brett? Still nothing. Still nothing. You got all of your pending free agents signed. I still got Sammy Rodriguez holding out. Sal Frelick gets 6 years from the Yankees. 17 million per, and there he is. All right. So you guys got both your free agent targets. As Brett DeBatey takes the deal. Griffin Canning still holding out. So now the big question is Nolan Jones. Warrior with the Big 10 gifted, trying to unite the cause. As chat continues to just tear one another apart. Give me Jones back. That's not how this works. You don't get to pay to get an extra free agent signing. That's not how that works. Thank you for the 10 gifted, but that's not how it works. Would it be smart for me to say money to win? Yes, but no, this shit ain't pay to win. This shit ain't pay to win. Forgot I had to make Biodaris and Altman offers. Taste the biscuit. They were on 40-man roster waivers before. Taste the biscuit. Let's see. He is technically still yours. He just has to accept that contract. Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. That contract. How does money not tempt you? I mean, of course it tempts me, but we're doing this again. I'm not letting you guys cheat. I've been nice enough this offseason. The good news for you is that Nolan Jones has offers. Certainly doesn't look like he's going to be a Rocky. Enjoy the draft picks that come from him. How is it cheating? Because you let him go. He is technically a free agent now. He is technically a free agent. You let him go. You had the chance to re-sign him. You did not. He is technically a free agent. That's what it is. Jonathan India has been dealt to the Red Sox. Oh man, Boston's stocking up. Phil Shavitz and Lenny McCauley. Ezekiel Duran on his way to the Marlins. Kyle Harrison signs a 6-year deal. Seattle, and Nolan Jones takes the 7-year deal from Houston. So chat will get compensation for Nolan Jones signing elsewhere, but the Nolan Jones era in Colorado is done. It is done. 2029 draft lottery. Chat has no chance at winning the number 1 pick, as you'll have the 27th pick in the draft. I have top 8 odds at 3.9%. At least Jones went to the White Sox competitor. I'm not afraid of Nolan Jones because you guys hated him. I care more about stats than I care about overall, and he doesn't play like a 91 overall, so no fear from me. I care more about the guy on the other field. I did drop down. Ooh, I got a Twitch pack. I did drop down 1 spot to pick number 9, but honestly, I'm still really happy with the top 10 pick. The Cincinnati Reds moved up 10 spots. 1.4% chance, and the Reds have the number 1 pick. God damn. I'm still good with the top 10, though. I'm still good with that. Not bad, not bad. Bobby Miller, man. Where the hell are they getting this money, though, after that massive deal to Jordan? Bobby Miller on his way to the Astros as well for 5 years. Brandon Pfad goes to Philly for 5 years. Spencer Strider, 6 years from Minnesota. Been a good offseason for the AL. Matt Wallner off to Milwaukee. Gavin Williams gets 6 years from the Yankees. It's a fucking arms race in the AL right now. Boston makes another trade this offseason. Nate Lowe for that starting pitching option that we saw a few years ago. Kenny Branham And first baseman Bryce Eldridge. Evan Carter gets 6 years from the Yankees. Holy shit. It is an arms race in the AL right now. Outrageous. Whew. I'm still pretty happy and content with my roster. Sam Fran makes another good signing this offseason. 4 years for Bo Naylor. Ryan Pepio on his way to the Dodgers. Vinny Pasquantino traded to the Astros. How do they have fucking Manchester City-esque doping, financially at least? How the fuck do you have that much money? Jojo Romero gets traded to Seattle. Mike Soroka gets a 2-year deal from the Cubs. Bradley gets 6 years from Kansas City. Grayson Rodriguez gets 9 years at age 30 from Cincy. Mookie Betts has been traded to Pittsburgh for Mitch Jebb, Alejandro Navarro, and Jace Bowen. That is a salary dump by the Dodgers. Mookie Betts traded to Pittsburgh. 100% a salary dump by the Dodgers. And they immediately signed Tyler Stevenson. I see through you, LA. I see through you. Johan Rojas gets 6 years from the Blue Jays. And they sign MJ Melendez for 4. Dude, the American League is insane right now. Boston makes their 3rd trade of the offseason, acquiring Nick Sandlin for Bobby Estrada and Sean Baez. This has been a wild offseason. Bad news for the National League. Atlanta gets Noelvi Marte for 6 years. Dude, this has been an outrageous offseason. How do you still have money? The Astros signed Colton Cowser. And Michael King. Okay, there's no such thing. There's just no such thing as money anymore. There's just no such thing. This is ridiculous. Cardinals get Brian De La Cruz for 2 years. Tanner Houck on his way to Cleveland. Texas acquires Johan Oviedo for Josh Young. Dealt to the Angels. It's a pretty big switch up in the AL. Dude, the Astros are cheating. Bang, bang. Red Sox sign Patrick Bailey. Jesus Christ. No, budget's still on. The Blue Jays get Zach Neto. Jared Triolo finally signs. He goes to Texas. I saw some people in chat being like, oh, have fun with the AL too. Have fun beating whoever the hell makes it out of the AL. Good fucking luck. This is bad news for you too. Davis Schaefer was signed. The Dodgers also bring in Henry Davis. Jesus Christ. This offseason has been insane. Tommy Edman goes to Cleveland. Matt McClain gets 3 years from the Royals. Nolan Shanana on his way to the Giants for 5 years. The Giants have really been making strides this year. Colt Keith gets 6 years from Baltimore. I didn't like his plate abilities, so I'm all right with that. Jordan Westberg, 4 years from the Reds. Are we finally done? I think we're finally done. Jesus Christ. We're going to have to take a look around the league once we have the rosters set up to see what the hell is going on. But first things first. Well, chat, you have 2 actual catchers on the roster. It will be Dinger McPissmissile and Drew Romo as your combination at catcher. First base is going to be Kyle Manzardo, and, well, it makes sense for it to be Hunter Goodman. You could go for Grant Levine. If you go with Goodman, it shouldn't play Levine against the lefties. It should play Manzardo full time. So it makes sense for it to be Hunter Goodman as the backup first baseman. Second base. Obviously, Waluigi's not going to make the roster. Since you didn't sign a backup shortstop, Cauley's the backup shortstop. You have to make a choice. I'm a Mac, he's a PC, or Short King as the backup second baseman. Neither of whom have a secondary position. Who would you prefer as the backup second baseman behind Pablo Sanchez Dos? It's got to be one of them. Short King gets the vast majority of the shout. JD, I'm with you. I would have called up He's a PC, but chat's voting for Short King to be the backup. He gets the nod. Third base. Tug can be sent down. Bernabel cannot. Makes the decision pretty obvious. I mean, unless you want Tug to be the backup first baseman, you could send down Goodman. So it's either Tug McGroin is the backup first baseman or he plays in AAA. What do you think? Backup first baseman or AAA for Tug McGroin? What is the word? Send down, send down, send down. All right. Tug's going down. Shortstops. Anthony Volpe. And, of course, again, it's going to be Cawley. Technically, is the backup shortstop. In the outfield, you got some decisions. 2, 3, 4. You got to send down 2 people. It makes sense to send down Jordan Beck. He'll have to go through waivers, but it makes sense to send down Jordan Beck, even though he's the only natural right fielder on the team. And it probably makes sense to send down Benny Montgomery because Mountain Oyster is ready to go. He's ready to play. Makes sense to send down Benny. And go with Clark, Langford, Fernandez, and Mountain Oyster in the outfield. Any disagreements? Benny has one more option left, so he won't be on waivers this year, at least. All right, not too many disagreements. No disagreements, actually. Benny goes down. Terms of the pitching. 1, 2. Whoops. Santillan's looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, I mean, Moorhead and Shackelford should still wait. It makes sense for it to be Brewstar again. Send down Dowd, add Brewstar back to the 40-man. Nobody claimed him as expected. Astros trash can go back to AAA, continue to get some seasoning. And then starters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Feltner would be on waivers. Rollison would not, so send down Rollison. That can be 6. And then Griffin Canning can also go down. So, okay, Prosecki would have to go through waivers. That's not a big deal. He's not good anyway. He's a depth option. Mezet can go down. And you guys have your 26. Obviously, I'm going to have to fix it up a little bit from there. But a look at what your team's going to be this season. It's going to be Bryce Miller, Chase Dollander, Hunter Brown, Forrest Whitley, and Chris McMahon, with Ryan Feltner as the long reliever. Bullpen is Mason Miller, Lucas Gilbreth, Brewstar Gratterall, Camilo Duvall, Tony Santillan, and Ian Hamilton. In terms of the lineups, you got Mountain Oyster at DH, Max Clark, Pablo Sanchez Dos, Kyle Manzardo, Brett Betty, Wyatt Langford, Anthony Volpe, Ankiel Fernandez, and Dinger McPissmissile. Again, Bernabel, Cawley, Romo, Short King, and Goodman on the bench. It actually ends up playing warming Bernabel against lefties. Short King is also in at second. So a couple of lineup changes depending on lefty versus righty, but that is a general look at the lineup for Chat's Rockies this year. By the way, shits and giggles. I was going to say, can I see other teams' budgets? But apparently not. Apparently not. Let's get a base look here. You know what? I don't even know what the hell the Astros are going to look like either. Let's get a basic look at my team here. At catcher, well, I'm going to risk losing somebody. Yep. I'm going to risk losing somebody. I got to give Cartaya another chance. So Corey Lee, got to risk losing you, and I got to risk losing Edgar Caro. Warrior wants to make a change to the lineup. Warrior doesn't get that choice. Chat voted for Short King. End of. I can throw it to a vote, but my God, guys, be more decisive. As it is, that means you already would have wasted one of the options. Here's the reason why it doesn't make sense. Because now you're going to send down Short King and use up one of his minor league options. So that would be the stupid tax that you paid. If you want to make this swap, go ahead. But that would be the stupid tax that you'd make, is using up one of those options. Let's see, first base, that's looking fine. Obviously got to optimize from there. Second base, Sammy can be sent down, thank God. O'Neill's fine. Third base, Moncada and Kath, that's fine. Shortstop. It's probably going to have to be Cooper Kinney. I still have way too many fucking shortstops for like no reason. Well, Cooper Kinney. Welcome back to the roster, my man. Cardona. Got to send you down. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Oscar Colas gets sent down again. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Sorry to Gavin Sheets. Although we can play first. Timmer Dahlbeck that gets sent down. Yeah, sorry to Gavin Sheets, but I'm going to risk losing you too, even though waivers don't often go through in spring training. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Barlow is down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus. So Jake Adair is going down. Schuster. Andreas Marquez. Josh Carlisle's going down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with Rosa. I guess I'd rather have Rosa pitching in AAA still. Can I send him down? Yes, I can. All right. Hold on. 27. The hell's the 27th? 2. It's just because the waivers haven't gone through? Ah, Ballesteros. Didn't notice you. Send you down. I'll look at my White Sox. Willie Villegas, Andreas Olivo, Noah Schultz, Yairo Iriarte, Grant Taylor, with Jared Kelly as the long reliever. Bullpen is Pete Fairbanks, Rafael Geronimo, Caleb Ferguson, Garrett Crochet, Edwin Diaz, and Brian Abreu. That is a hell of a pitching staff. Lineup-wise, Dominic Fletcher, Colson Montgomery, Eloy Jimenez, Jordan Walker, Michael Bush, Jefferson Guerrero, Sam Zavala, Yohan Moncada, and Jacob Gonzalez. On the other side, wow, it actually starts Guerrero over Diego Cartaya the whole time. I wasn't expecting that. Fair enough. No changes to the lefty-righty setup. Didn't lose anybody to waivers. So I do have to fully optimize the lineup from here, but what we'll do really quickly, first and foremost, staff contracts. Can't change anything with the scouts. What about for you guys? Nope, no money left, only $600. So the only thing left to do now, aside from the boring stuff of optimizing the lineup, is to take a look at the trade block here and what we both want to do. So for you guys, obviously having catcher as a position to find some depth in would be nice. Terms of first baseman, there's not much value there. I mean, you could add Speller just to try and get something for him. You don't really need a depth first baseman. Second base. Honestly, you might as well try to trade one of these two. Makes a lot of sense. Try to trade Waluigi as well, since he has that B. But it makes sense to trade one of these guys and keep the other, because they're always going to be the depth option behind Pablo. Third base. Makes sense to try and trade Bernabel or Tug at this stage. It's not even the worst idea to put cash considerations there. Although he could be the depth option. If you can get something for him, you might as well at this point. I mean, you're already going to be cutting in. You're already cutting into when he's major league level, which is now. So if you get something good for him, you might as well look. Do you put Anthony Volpe on the trade block? Obviously, shortstop is definitely a position where you need some depth. Do you try to move that contract? Just see if you get a deal. Or are you committing to him? Doesn't hurt to at least see if you can get a decent deal for him. All right, chat sticking with him. In the outfield. Makes sense to put Benny Montgomery on there. Makes sense to put Buck on there. Beck and Batboy don't really have too much value. Honestly, it's worth probably keeping that outfield depth. That's really good. For the relievers, it's not really worth giving up those guys. Obviously, you guys don't exactly have a ton of prospects, but even some of these lower guys that have those B potentials, if you can flip them for something, it makes sense to. If you can get rid of Gratterall because of that contract, it makes sense to. And then for the starters, if you can trade left bench, you might as well. Inappropriate text. I mean, it's worth at least seeing if you can get anything decent. Like, Cowboy's not bad, but again, Texas 22, like, he might make it, he might not. Even Delicio Pizza, it's like, see what the market is for these guys. It doesn't mean that you have to trade them, but it's at least going to be good to know. And then it's pretty clear. Just look for pitching, look for a backup catcher, look for a backup shortstop. That's the best way to optimize it for you guys. For myself, every single catcher is available because I just need to get rid of people. I have too many people. Honestly, I'm kind of fine with the first base situation. If I can move Javi Chavez, I should. He's probably not going to make it. Second base, if I can move Sammy Rodriguez, I should. Adam O'Neill. Norman. If I can move Duncan, I should. Let's see. Shortstop. I could use a better depth shortstop. Again, just try to take advantage of the fact that the AI love to look for guys with good potentials. Even if you know they're not going to be that good. Let's see. I could use a good natural depth center fielder. Gavin Sheets didn't go. Colas didn't go. If I can move Saito, I should. Don't really want to move Zapata. Not much to do there. I need to move some starters, though. I know that for sure. I can move Carlisle, McDermott, McGee. I mean, I have so much frickin' starting pitching depth, but we'll see what happens. So we're pretty much good to go. Again, I got to do the boring stuff of filling out the minors, but well, at least in spring training, we're both ranked very highly. We'll see what that looks like by the end of it. Dodgers have the top prospect in baseball, that 99 potential left fielder Marvin Huber, up ahead of Archie Rhodes. Neither of us have a prospect in the top 14 at this stage. You guys do have Lucas Kroger at 15. I got Josh Saito at 18. So the list might change a little bit. You got McGee, Nick Hall. Obviously, we have to rename the new prospects as well. That'll be another thing. So we'll see what happens. Both teams still looking good, though. You guys certainly have the goal of World Series at this point. I'm hoping to make the playoffs for the first time. Let's see what happens. Quick little save in there, Chad, and then we are ready for the 2030 season. I feel like we're making very quick progress. It's almost a bummer to me that we are out of the rebuild process and have already made it to the point where we're in the playoff mix. Again, quick note here, just so that people know. I cut a couple of random shortstops off of my roster, basically. Cooper Kinney, Jose Rodriguez, Lennon Sosa. That's about it. The big change, because I needed to organize shortstops a bit better, was moving up Fritz Grant, who I just drafted last year. I didn't immediately plan on having him on the roster, but he's going to get playing time. Colson plays against lefties, but Fritz plays against righties, and I'm okay with that. Fritz Grant looks like he could be pretty good. So that's the only real change. The big question is, heading into the start of the season, how highly are we ranked? I'm ranked 4th off the back of great pitching, solid contact, and defense. You guys are ranked 2nd. Playoffs are the expectation. For the White Sox, I'm in a division with the 17th ranked Twins, the 8th ranked Guardians, 24th Royals, and 28th for the Tigers. I should probably win that division. And for you guys, 12th ranked Dodgers, 20th for the Padres, 14th for the Giants, and 23rd for the Diamondbacks. We should both make the playoffs. Pretty simple. Taker, no idea. Might be at some point. I have no idea. Can I pick players up from another team if they're on waivers? Yes, but they don't give the waiver alerts like they normally do, like in NHL, so it's just always kind of a bitch to double check about waivers. That's why it really hasn't been much of a thing. But yeah, we are good to go. Again, we have the block set up and everything. Just worth noting, your top prospects, including the recently renamed Ricky Vaughn. No Hand O'Houlihan's up there as well. What a collection of talent. What a collection of talent for the Rockies. And then for the White Sox, my top prospects are as followed. Quite a few guys in AA as opposed to triple, which is a little bit scary. But where do you go on the menu to pick them up? To be honest, I don't even remember. I think it's in pending transactions or something like that. It is, yeah. Pending transactions to see the waiver wire. It's like Thomas Harrington is out there right now at the end of spring training. Kumar Rocker is also out there. But yeah, see, we'd be able to cheese it pretty easily. Look at the ratings on these guys on the waiver wire. That's why we pretty much don't use it in this challenge series, because that's a cheat code right there. That is a cheat code right there. So, but yeah, go to the clipboard, transactions, and then pending. But let's do this. Let's see what happens. By the way, just because I'm intrigued, what the hell do the Astros look like? How do they have the money for this? They got 3 starters. That's the Twins. They got 1 starter. Look at this. How do you have the money for this? 15, 8, 15, 15. How much are they paying Duran? 8. They got Diaz. They brought in Pasquantino at first. They're paying Brendan Donovan $11 million. They don't have a great third baseman. How much are they paying Jeremy Pena? Only 16. Jesus, that's a steal. Jordan, we know they're paying the fucking sun and the moon to because they outbid me for him. They're giving Riley Green $20 million a year. How do they have the money for this? Seriously. And then they signed Nolan Jones, backload. That's how they're backloading like all of their fucking contracts. Their time is numbered. Their days are numbered as a big time threat. They've backloaded everything, the bastards. As I get a trade offer from the Royals, center fielder Gavin Cross for catcher Diego Cartaya. Pretty even players. Cartaya looks to be dropping already. He's only had 3 at-bats this year. Gavin Cross. Doing all right at the plate. Contract control coming up. Do I need an outfielder like that, though? Not really. I mean, he'd compete with Zavala, who would have to go down. Sheets and Colas already down. I don't really have space for the guy. If I didn't have Jordan Walker, I'd do that trade, but I don't really got space for the guy. All right, so scouting this year will be interesting. Let's take a look at what chat's Rockies need, and well, catcher. Catcher is an absolute need. No doubt about that. First base. I mean, a project first baseman. I mean, I put it in the kinda. You got a couple of guys in there, but they're super low overall. Second base. I mean, you got Sanchez, Dos. That's a not really for second base. Third base. Warming Bernabel out. Third's kind of a not really. You got younger talent there. Shortstop is an absolute. Shortstop and catcher, pretty similar. Left field is a kind of, to be honest, just to get some younger talent in there, because you know not everyone's going to be able to stay. Center field's a not really. Right is a yes, just to get an actual right fielder into the mix. And then pitching, to be honest, is now both. They're both kind ofs at this time. Given that you have players that you've drafted, I mean, it's just a matter of waiting for guys like this to develop, you know? Cowboy as well. So, for the White Sox. I mean, a younger catcher is in the kind of territory. First base. Then the not really. I'm in a decent spot there. Second base, also a not really. Got some younger guys in the mix. Third base. Still going to put in kind of. Don't really have a great long-term solution at third base. Honestly, I'm going to put that more in the yes because Moncada is old. Shortstop. That's a no. I don't need a shortstop this year. Left field. I'm good. I'm good in left field for a while. Center field. Good in center. And in right. That's a not really. And then pitching is kind of the same boat for me. So let's see what's out there. Again, for Chats Rockies, it makes sense to focus on third baseman to kick things off. Catcher. And then honestly, go with starters and then switch over to relievers after that. But third base and catcher are the biggest ones for you guys. Yeah, start off at third base. Makes no difference. We'll see if there's any good third baseman for you guys to find this year. You guys need a third baseman. Yes, third. I will not let you be stupid. Shortstop, not third base. I was looking at mine. Thank you. All right. Catcher, shortstop, and right field. I will not let me be stupid. You won't let me be stupid, too. You're trying to make us lose. I don't have to make you guys lose. You already lost to the fucking Dodgers. Don't blame me. Don't blame me because you can't build a team. Sheesh. At least we made it. Yeah. You made it for now. Ahead of schedule. I took my time. I'm about to make it. Just you wait. You made it too soon. You don't have the depth to go all the way. That's what baseball's about, baby. So for me, third base, catcher, and starting pitcher. And who's won this challenge more than the other side? Thank you. Let's see. Third base is the deal. Sure was. Sure was. All right, let's see. Any trade offers this week? Yes, I get a deal from the Brewers. Cartaya for Jason Domingo. Holy shit, he's an 87. The other guy was an 84. That might force my hand. God, he's only 27 too. He's got no contract control left. He is fucking crushing it at the plate this year. He is too good to say no to. I will trade Diego Cartaya to Milwaukee for Jason Dominguez. He is too good to say no to. So thank you very much, Milwaukee. Edgar is going to get the call up. Put that dude in triple. I'm not really worried about signing a depth option. I need to send down an outfielder. Or somebody else. I really don't want to lose Zavala. Can anybody else play third? Yep. All right. Wes Kath, you're going down, buddy. Put you through waivers. If I lose you, I lose you. Worth it, though. For the White Sox, let's see. I need to continue looking at third baseman. And then I need to move on to looking at catchers. For the Rockies, you guys were also looking at catchers to start off. And then moving on to shortstops. Because you paid someone too much money. Let's see. How's this next week going to go? No trade offers. Cool. Keep it running. Let's see. We need shortstops in the East. You need shortstop, international, and then right fielders were the other big focus. For myself, let's see. Catchers in the East. Catchers international. And then I'm going to target relievers over starters, I think. Change my mind on that front. All right, let's go another week here. White Sox, not exactly crushing it this season. Trade offer from the Twins. Veteran starter Hunter Gaddis. Pitching down in AAA. I really don't need him. I'd love to get rid of Cardona, but I don't need Gaddis. 10-18 for the White Sox, 17-12 for the Rockies. White Sox struggling so far. I might need to address that. Let's see, closer Central, closer East, and closer International. And for you guys, that'll be finishing up with right fielders and then starting to look at the players. So Central, East. Shout out to Sinistry for the primer. Thank you very much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome in. And, well, let's together discover what the hell is wrong with my team. Because they shouldn't be this bad. Jacob Gonzalez can't hit worth a fuck. Is that the primer before the follows? Oh, you'd love to see that. Oh, good. Dominguez is struggling since we brought him in. That sounds about right. It's got to be the pitching. Oh, it's the pitching. It is the pitching. Holy Jesus, has our bullpen, which is supposed to be one of our strengths. Holy fuck. Like, I know it's only 3 innings, Edwin, but holy shit. Hello, Crashy. So everybody on my team, pitching-wise, just collectively decided to suck at the same time. I'll give them a little bit more time to try and figure it out, but, woof. Can't give them that much more time. As you guys get a trade offer from the Yankees, starting pitcher Jay Groom, the Groome, for Delicio Pizza, that's not worth it at all. I mean, Jay's not... Yeah, he's not doing particularly well either. That'd be a terrible trade for you. All right, let's see. Scouting-wise, I am going to look at relievers and starters before I start looking at specific players. So I'm going to set it up that way. And for you guys, well, it makes a whole lot of sense to actually start looking at the players that are needed. So let's take a look at the top-rated catchers. position you need a lot of help in. Brian Lettier. Might not be that bad. There's also Toby Hoff and Matt Gallegos. Obviously, Randy Ruiz will be someone else to look at. We'll start off with those three for chat in terms of their biggest needs. And Rockies right now, not the best run of form. 22-19 on the season. Let's see. I mean, Lettier might not be that bad. West Coast, what's going on, man? How'd the fights go? I know I got tagged in the thing. I didn't know if it was tonight or not. Obviously worth looking at Randy Ruiz. Any other catchers to look at? Not so much Fisher, Bradshaw. You probably want to aim higher. Johnny Roush, low end chance for an A. Definitely Freddie Reeves. See how bad that guy is or how good he might be. Anybody else? Blair Rodriguez could be a steal. Did my guy finally win a second fight? Because Christ, he's been terrible. Charles Dukes, Johnny Roush. It's worth looking at Johnny because that overall could be high. So, quite a few catchers for you guys to look at. For myself, hey, I'm on a winning streak. You love to see it. Let's see. I need relievers, international, and then starters. All right. Get a trade off from the Nats. Edgar Quiero for your old pal, Adael Amador. Mr. Amador, how you doing this year? Not bad. Do I need a shortstop? No. I mean, it would allow me to send down Fritz Grant, but I really don't need a shortstop, so I'm going to say no to that. All right, next bit of scouting here. I got to finish up with starters. So for East and International. Then I got to start looking at players. Third baseman. Julio Salgado might be the best of the bunch. So we'll see what happens. The cursive font in the scouting time makes me think. No, it's a terrible font. I mean, obviously chat's mean me to death for rereading something once or twice, but Jesus Christ, there's really no denying. The font in this game was a terrible choice. See, any other catchers? Blair Rodriguez. Worth looking at as a potential steal. Freddie Reeves, you already know a good amount about. Charles Dukes, you might as well look at. I think that's going to be the last catcher that you guys have to look at here. Yeah, because you already know a good amount about Freddie Reeves. So after that was shortstop. See who's there at shortstop for you guys. Tommy Brady. Well, we're gonna move the Rockies to Montreal, so the prophecy comes true. Tommy Brady at shortstop. Is he the man for chat moving forward? So you guys get a trade off from the Guardians reliever. Ooh, John Dowd. For Jaime Barria. So it's an improvement, but is Barria doing well? Barria's doing well. This would improve your bullpen. It's a veteran. He's 33. But that would improve your bullpen. I mean, Dowd's doing pretty well down in AAA. But Gratterall is still declining. He's down to a 70. He's still pitching well, but that's a good depth piece. Chat saying take it. I think you're right to do so. So I think this is your first ever drafted guy that you're trading away. John Dowd on his way to Cleveland. That's a good deal for you guys, though. All right, White Sox still not quite where they want to be. I'm going to continue to look at third baseman. So Salgado's 18. I won't get too much more info on him. I just know he's a big risk. Hello, Ralph Allen. Need to look at Neil McGrath. I need to look at Ralph Allen. And I need to look at Marcos Ornelas. For chat at shortstop, well, Tommy Brady not looking particularly good, chat, unfortunately. He might be a really good player out of the gates, but he's not going to be a high-end superstar. Is how it's looking. Raymond Park, Danny Owen, and Ray Lozano. Worth looking at. All right, let's see what happens over the next week here. Actually, for me, already 13 games back of the Guardians. It's been, excuse me, another month since I've last looked. I imagine the pitching is still tragic. I fucking hate this fucking COVID cough. Won't go away. Just every once in a while. All right, Edwin. Not great. Fairbanks has been a disaster. Geronimo's been a disaster. I mean, Fairbanks and Geronimo have to go down. They just have not been good enough. Can't believe I'm having to send these two down. That's, again, a bit of a disaster. Garrett has been fine. Abreu has been horrific. Ferguson hasn't been great either. Abreu's been horrific too. That's insane. I can't believe the talent level I'm having to send down in the bullpen here. Need to call up 3 dudes from AAA. So, Davis Kingman. Congrats. You're going to get a chance. We'll call up Joey Barlow and Prelander Baroa. I got a full 40, man. Who can I drop off? Oscar Colas. If I lose you, I lose you. I cannot believe what I have had to do to my bullpen. That is outrageous. In terms of starters, Kelly hasn't been great. Taylor hasn't been great. Schultz also hasn't been great. Nowhere's Villegas. This is insane. Like, everybody at once is deciding they don't know how to pitch. So I am going to risk some people to waivers to try and fix this goddamn issue. For you guys, 2.5 games back of the Dodgers. I can't imagine there's too much to fix because there's not much you can do at catcher. You are missing Kyle Manzardo due to a fractured foot. That certainly wouldn't help the issues that you might be having. Yanquiel Fernandez has been terrible at the plate, but can't send him down without losing him to waivers. And then pitching-wise, Duvall, Tony Santillan has been horrific, but he's only pitched 8 innings. And Gratterall's been good. Gilbreth hasn't been so great. There are a couple of changes you could make. A couple of people that haven't quite been doing so hot, but it doesn't look like you have anybody disastrous as the players that I just pointed out have been for me. So, trying to get my season back under control here. Because, yeah, we shouldn't be that bad. Not at all. Just drop Joel Pennick down. I don't really care too much about you. All right, let's see. Still looking at third baseman. Ralph Allen's certainly looking like he could be somebody half decent if that overall is not too low. Salgado was at 60. Marshall Barney. Not too worried about Fabio Castillo. Bobby Ekstrom we can look at. Rick Stowers. A lot of third basemen. For you guys, of course, you already looked at catchers. You're now looking at shortstops, and then we'll be moving on to right field. Sebastian Roca doesn't quite have the super high-end potential, like Miguel Perez does. You also got Joaquim Mota, not looking that bad. And, well, that's that for the moment. So off to right field with Sam Huff. He's back as an outfielder this time. His overall could be high, so he's worth looking at again. So you guys are going to get another version of Sam Huff, potentially. All right. Oakland offers you a trade. Joey Estes for left bench. Bench 24A and a 67. Estes 28C and a 73. Yeah, there's really no reason. Bench will be as good as Joey Estes, and he's not good enough to step into your lineup. Yeah, he hasn't been that great this year. So that's a no. That's a no. Decent week for the White Sox. Still not looking great. Let's see. Have I finally scouted out all of these damn third basemen? Have I finally scouted them all out? Nope, because we got Brooke Winters. Xavier Gillum. Anybody else? Merrill Hansen. That overall is going to be shit, isn't it, Merrill? Isn't it? Pablo Sanchez, as always. You know what? I want to know the overall from Merrill. I'm going to, at this point, only have third baseman scouted. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Right field. Who else do you guys have here? Heath Gaines. Eddie Proval. And Jonah Nieve. Not bad. Let's see. I get a trade offer from the Twins. Oscar Colas for Hunter Gaddis. Gaddis has been pitching in AAA and not doing well, so I'm going to say no to that. Rockies at 40-32, 2 games back of the Dodgers. White Sox at 31-39, so my team has actually been better since I sent down some better players. Go figure. Am I finally done scouting out third baseman? For the love of God. No, I'm not, because Pablo was still there. Now am I done? Winters was there. Nope, there's Nick Burke. How many? I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. But there's so many damn eligible third basemen. Finally, I can move on to catcher. We'll see if my scouts feel any different about catchers that are available than yours did. Of course, I still need to scout them because of the interest. So let's see. I don't know why I keep doing this. I don't have to. Right field. Shout out to Flo Daddy-O. Getting that Andreas Munoz. And I got a Twitch drop back. Let's see it. So right field. Ayers, not too much to worry about there. Danny Coggin, I mean, the overall could be high, but probably not. Worth getting more information on Brubaker. Because if his overall is not dreadful, he'll actually be pretty good. Let's see. Honestly, same for Jonah Nieve. It's worth getting more information on that guy. And then Del VR was also really good. 27 weeks out from the draft. Interesting spot to be in here for both of us. So I got a trade off from the Braves, Oscar Colas for Christian Pache. He was a guy that gave you guys a bit of trouble in the playoffs, although you still quite easily made it past Atlanta last year. Let's see. Mr. Pache. Keep Oscar Colas. You guys have too many players on your active roster. How? How do you have too many players on your active roster? That doesn't make sense. Nobody got called up. Did you trade for a pitcher? Ah, that's right, you did. You traded for Berea. Has Gilbert still been terrible? Yeah, Gilbert has still been terrible. He can be the drop, and he doesn't have to be on waivers either. So, all right, you guys are still chasing the Dodgers. See if there's anybody else in right field for for you guys to look at here. Not so much for Coggin. Del VR. Be pretty good to get more info on him. Brian Saldana. Rodriguez, not so much, but Will Harrington, definitely worth getting more info on. For the White Sox, what do I got at catcher? I don't think I'm going to be able to scout out any pitching like I was hoping to do, but that's okay. Toby Hoff. Never hassled Hoff. Look at Matt Gallegos. And I'll look at old Randy Ruiz as well. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Southern League first half is over. And we got 2 weeks of scouting left. Let's see. What do we got a catcher? 35 scouted for Toby Hoff. Get more info on him. Don't need to worry about Fisher. Johnny Roush, I'll get a bit more info on. Charles Dukes, I'll get more info on him too. For you guys, the right field situation. Actually, you know what? It's worth taking these guys out. Let's just see them where they're ranked now. Ayers, not so much. Eddie Proval at 18. Could get a bit more information on him. You know he's not going to be likely super high end. Is there anybody else you have no info on at all? Emery Harmon. Hell of a name. Hell of a name for Emery. Anybody else? Will Harrington. Still worth seeing if he's at least a C. You're not really going to have time to scout out. Well, you might actually have time to scout out first base and left. At least the top options. Let's see. So first base and left were the two other positions that were kind of for you guys. There's one dude who's a first round projected pick. That's Manny Fernandez. You might as well take a look at him, at least get some interest. You never know who might fall to you guys later in the draft. You do have that late first rounder, but you never know. There will be compensation picks as well because of Nolan Jones. Mesut Ozil for Brandon Williamson. Williamson, the veteran, 4.15 ERA, 3.90 FIP. Hasn't been anything spectacular. Ozil, you know, he's still developing, but he's not too bad. There's really no reason for you guys to take that trade. Like, he's not going to be an improvement on any of those three. So, let's see. Corey Seager, 35 years old, dealt to the Mets for 2 pitching prospects. All right, and here it is, our final scouting week. Let's see what we got going on here. This is the time to look at the final dudes who might be half decent. Which for me will be Freddie Reeves, Blair Rodriguez to get some info and interest. Anybody else? Not really. So who do I have on my list? I mean, Reggie Reese as a starter could be insane. So, I mean, I might as well look, even though I don't think there's any way he'll fall to me. I think 9th is my pick. So let's see, for you guys, it was left and first base. You kind of know Fernandez isn't going to be insane. Are there any good first basemen? Villalobos might not be that bad, but Rory Kearns, Clinton Hayes, Derek Hogsett might not be that bad. Is there anybody else like a super high-end potential listed? Not really. What was your compensation? I mean, look at the draft picks in the top left. That gives you a good indication. You got 5 picks in the first 74. You guys are definitely going to have a chance to do some damage. You might as well look at Richie Reeves. My guys didn't even point out Richie Reeves. But yeah, freaking first and a starting pitcher for the hell of it. There's no way that guy falls to you, but hey. So we're pretty much good to go for the draft then. A few days out. My White Sox are 10 games back in the wild card. It has been a rough season for my team. Your team, though, 10 games over 500, chasing the Dodgers. Season ends today. You're in the playoffs. Things aren't quite clicking for my team here, but even though the Dodgers are weaker on paper, you're still neck and neck with them. So the draft's going to be interesting. The season's going to be interesting. But who knows? This might be our last year. You guys might win it this year.